Hi. So today the main topic is my journey of making our website, and this which is also called the Run Trick. Run Trick, what is a Run Trick? Run Trick is the AI coding education platform. Um, s- so so why do we choose this kind of AI coding platform? Because there are lots of AI coding like there's like code education platform. Like there's a bunch of like website that teaches you the programming language and other thing. The thing we our people and we focus on this is the lot of there's a bunch of tutorial helps, and also the ChatGPT. We use ChatGPT. Most of beginners use ChatGPT to get the answer easily rather than think about themselves. Um, and that could lead to the problem that the hallucination that you might think you are learning stuff by asking ChatGPT, but in the whole you're not. You're just asking and you're getting the information really easily. So we just look at the problem and we want to solve it. So our question is, and also the most of people one who get like want to learn about coding thing or just interest, they they have like difficulties because they watch the YouTube tutorials and they do same stuff, but they find out that just typing it same stuff we're just gonna making them not really making them like not really practical. So our so we try to solve this problem and we made it. It's really free to use, and we only support the Python at first because it is beta launch, and we are not sure about this idea. Idea is kind of good. So if you click learning, of course there's a white mode and dark mode. We're just gonna begin the dark mode, and there's a all level, a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And this Python, so we just made the Python basic one, and when you click it, there's a coding education. So there's like the curriculums that we made the why coding Python, and to make this stuff like to and we wrote it down these kind of tutorials. For example, we want to make these like users to interact with our platform with the chatbot here, and of course they can run this using this code editor. It's 100% free and they don't have to pay it. And after that, when they click next lesson, it will just gonna your lesson progress will gonna increase if you already done it. But if it's not, you have to wait for the lesson progress fill it out. And and the thing we more focus on is the content of the tutorials. Um, since we have no talent of writing something because we are engineers, we make AI to write it. But the core thing is that the prompt, we tell AI to what to do, but it's not from the really simple stuff. Um, we like read like 30 over 30 papers of the education. Like example, the teacher has to like make make students teacher had to be how to say it had to be sensitive. They have to think about like environment that students have rather than just focus on the teaching. So those kind of things are kind of like how to teach students efficiently. So we collect all the prompt there and we just put into here, and AI wrote it, and even AI we get the content that AI wrote, but we didn't really just copy paste it. We just test it, and if it's really good, and we just put it here. If it's like bad, we just delete it. So the body is variable, and those kind of things is here. Why is variable? And user can run it, dining pine here, typing in actions like common learning barriers, and here like this. You can just ask it. You can just read it, and since if it's like the content that make user to interact it, like example this kind of this kind of code editor requires user to write the answer of it. So yes, if I put the right answer, it's gonna be like like this. It's pretty easy, right? So and moreover, I can just get the information, get the feedback from this AI, because this AI is not really just the ChatGPT thing. It kind of like relations. There's like interact with your current chapter run variable in Python. So if I ask, what what is current chapter? Yeah, here. So this is actually the prompt is related, and user can ask something to the chatbot. So chatbot doesn't really chatbot only focus on the current chapter with the Python and the program thing, not other thing. So if you're trying to ask what is like business milestone, this chatbot will gonna be not answer. I think it's gonna be. Yeah. So we did prompt engineering that if you're trying to ask something with the the topic, which is like building a thing, we are focused on the programming language. So these chapter is gonna switch back into our current chapter. Yes. So this is our beta here, and I know this is kind of really. I'm not sure that usually will like it, but we're trying our best to do it. So that's kind of our journey of it, but let me try to deep dive onto the engineering part. The first thing what I learned was the SS, the app router. We use the Next.js because we don't wanna use these. So we don't want to use normal CSR. Client-side rendering is a bunch of. It requires the JavaScript that does the JavaScript to render HTML, but if it's not necessary for rendering HTML, but it still does do it. So the client-side rendering is basically let JavaScript to render HTML, and now the web browser rated the making a DOM based on this HTML. But sometimes you don't want to have to do it. Example, if you look at our website, those kind of things, do you need some kind of JavaScript to render this at the runtime with the user when you receive it? There's no it. So when user receives this kind of this HTML, it's already pre-built and there's already HTML. There's already HTML so user don't have to think about like there's JavaScript code while waiting for this kind of website, because the JavaScript is runtime, so you just have to wait for the JavaScript to render this web page, and that could lead to performance issue and you're gonna leave it. So we use Next.js page router is because the reason why I use Next.js page router is because app router, they use the server-side rendering under the hood. They use default as a server-side rendering. So if I wanna make it as a SVG, I have to force it into some kind of like putting configuration of Next.js config, but that's kind of too much. I don't like SSR because that could lead into migration problem, and default the SSR is a server. We don't have to think about like server from the scratch at like you don't really put server-side rendering in your website. Mostly you just need the SSG with the CSR. Server-side rendering is kind of issue that it renders the HTML per the request, which also means that it's really server rather than static server. So example, if your service is really kind of there's kind of big hit, there's a jetpack of it, you have to think about the migration versus goes to some of your AWS platform. But since SSR requires another server, not really S3, it requires like some kind of EC2 those kind of thing, because it's really server. So but even though you have the server, you have to think about the load balancing and the traffic issue, and there's more issue of it. So I really don't like app router because and also the reason why I don't like app router is because if I try to build it, there should be HTML, but in the app router there's no pre-built HTML because the default is a server. So if you're trying to increase the SEO part, and if you look at the pre-built HTML, but But if you look at, but it doesn't. It cannot. You cannot do it because the if you're at browser, it makes the JavaScript so you cannot detect the which SEO part is really bad. So I think this is it. I have to take like a lot of video, like 4. I think there's like 3 or 4 left. The reason I couldn't make is because there was no time for that because, of course, it was a little bit burned up, but also there's a beta launch on the Runtrick, so I had to focus on this first. So this is it. I'll have a nice see you next time. Bye bye.